Alright, our glue's had about 15 minutes to set up. It is not fully cured yet, but it is able to be, the project is able to be handled now without it falling apart. What we need to do is prep our remaining pieces. We have our two remaining top supports. These are the ones that do not have the through holes. We need to take the two remaining dowels and put them into these holes. They'll either press right down or again a rubber mallet to snug them down to the distance. Never during this project should you have to use maximum strength pushing. You can actually hit it too hard and push the dowel through the other piece of the wood. A good firm tap is all you need. That's why I recommend using a rubber mallet, because the rubber will absorb the blow versus bringing in your traditional nailing or framing hammer. At this point, we are ready to start final assembly on our folding stool. These tenons need to be face up. So go ahead and lay the pieces out so the dowel will stick into the hole of the legs with the tenons facing up. So these simply push into place, and again, if they're snug, use the rubber mallet. And there we are. We are ready for our final assembly. At this point, we do just like we did before. We will start with the leg support as first. Put wood glue into the holes. Take your finger, wipe the wood glue around so you're covering all of the edges inside the hole. Do the same thing on both. Remember, we are not filling the hole with glue. We are putting enough glue to cover the bottom, and then enough, it'll have a little bit in there to push around on the other edges. At this point, you can push them in place, and the same thing will happen with the top. You've got the 4 remaining holes. Put the glue into the holes. And spread it with your finger. The wood glue will take a couple hours to fully cure. In about 15 minutes, the glue will set up enough that you can move the project around, but at no time during this first few hours do you want to try to sit on the stool or use it at full capacity. The glue should sit for a couple hours. If your class is a short hour-long class, I would at this point have the students make sure it's knocked together, have them check around the stool for running glue. If the glue is running, they need to wipe it off. Since the other side has had a chance to sit, that glue will not be running. It's starting to set up. To keep this side that we just glued from running down, it's a good idea to grab around both tops and both leg supports and flip it over 180 degrees on your table surface. Double check and make sure nothing popped out of its place. Everything's in there, snug still. And then now the freshly glued pieces are now on the bottom, and that glue will not be able to drip upwards. So you are safe at this point. Again, if you would like to put some weight on this to let it hold, I would definitely recommend leaving it for some time to let it fully dry. If you have a limited amount of classroom space, you may take other people's stools, and again with the grabbing method of pinching both the tops and the supports to keep them from coming out until they're dry, you can stack them in place. Just simply initial on the bottom someplace, or a post-it note with the student's initials so you know whose stools is whose when you come back to this project. But at this point, you have successfully assembled your stool. Let the glue set up before you move on.